So
right.
either give me a thumbs up if you're back or turn your camera on and we are non-judgmental here. We accept absolutely all the smiles and it doesn't matter what else is going on.
We just request that you have some clothes on if it's on screen. That's all, right? You know, I mean, people can do about anything here otherwise. We know might be in the middle of the night. It could be you just were dealing with a kid that was crying and screaming and you're full of throw up on you, or it doesn't matter. We all have been through those things. So if you can be on screen, that's great. If you can't, we understand that too. But yeah, Liz, why don't we go ahead and get started?
Yeah, welcome. I'm so glad to see all of you here today. Dawn and I will do our introductions last, but I would love to know what, for us, we'd love everyone to be engaged. And one of those ways is having you say hello to everybody. If you can take a moment and say hi, where you're calling in from, and have you used mind mapping before, yes or no? So Sarah, do you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am calling in from fabulous Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the temperature just took a big nosedive. So it's below freezing, but we love it. I have had some experience with mind mapping over my career. I've been in IT, and so it's been used occasionally. And my thoughts about today's workshop are, can I, to revisit it, and can I find it as a tool to put into my toolkit, with my dream job being user experience.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Crystal, would you like to go next?
Sure. Well, my name is Crystal Thies. I'm known as the LinkedIn Ninja. I help people leverage LinkedIn for sales and business development. I'm in the same place as Dawn and Liz, so I'm on the better side of the river. And as a right brain person, I know that I probably should do some mind mapping to get shit out of my head, but you know me, I don't always do what I know I should do. And it's got to be digital, no paper and color pens for me. So we'll see how well we can do this in the digital side.
Okay. Thank you for coming today, Crystal. Maureen, would you like to go next?
Hi, yeah, Maureen. I'm in the UK and I have used mind mapping in the past. So I'm a bit familiar with it. I'm not an expert, but I do like it. So yeah, I run a neuro leadership and emotional intelligence consultancy. And yeah, it's always a joy to be back with you.
Thanks, Maureen. It's always a pleasure to see your face. Deepa.
I'm Johnny. I'm in Ireland, so automatically it went to good evening. It's lovely to meet you all. I think I'm a bit confused soul, so to say. I work in an analytical world because I come from investment banking, compliance kind of world. So completely, because I don't know how I landed up here, but that's how I landed up. That's the trajectory I've had. But in my personal time, I'd like to do all kind of creative stuff. So I wanted to understand, mind mapping really. So I've not done this before. So basically where I actually stand, I've not analyzed myself, but I'm happier when I see I've done something, I've, created something by myself. So yeah, that's the beginning of the journey really, to understand myself.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Ying, please say hello, where you're calling in from, and if you've used mind mapping before.
Yeah, so I'm calling from Switzerland, Geneva. My background is in technology. I work as strategy consultant. I've heard mind mapping in the past. I've never used it. As I like taking notes and I'm pretty visual. So I think, yeah, I would like to know more of the tool, and eventually if we get to use it, during the session, that would be great. Yeah, thank
you. Good, excellent. And do I say Naya?
It's hi, hello everyone. It's actually Najia.
Najia, great.
Yes, I'll try to switch on my camera later on, promise. But for now, I just quickly wanted to say hi to everyone. So nice to see you, all of you. I'm calling from Dubai, UAE, and my background is in learning and development and project management. And kind of joined Ellevate 6 months back, and I'm really enjoying the journey and the learning that I am receiving. So thank you so much. I have some experience with mind mapping, but it's been a while. It's been a while. So I wanted to do it again because yeah, we go through reinventions and certain phases in life. And so I wanted to create something new today. That's why I joined you.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Yes. And you guys keep moving around a little bit. So I think it's Melissa's next, and then Carmen. And I think that's it. Yeah. So Melissa, tell us where you're calling in from and if you've used mind mapping before.
Okay, thank you. So sorry for being late. I had to jump off of something else. My name is Melissa Rome. I'm in Southern California. I joined Ellevate about 6 months ago.
Oh no. I'll give it to the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Carmen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, ladies. Hi, Liz.
Hi.
I'm calling from Seattle, and I have a little coworker. He doesn't want to go to sleep. So I am a community manager, and I have used mind mapping, and I needed like ASAP. It's been a long time since I've done it. So yeah.
Great. And Melissa looks like she's back.
Yeah, please. We heard your name and then how long you've been with Ellevate, and then it went blank when you went to say if you've used mind mapping. Yeah.
Okay, goodness. It said my internet is unstable, so apologies. What I was saying is I'm super happy to be here. Learned a lot so far the last few months, and I have no information about mind mapping, but it looked quite interesting. So.
Excellent. We are so glad you are here. I am Liz Kitchell with Shimula. And, you're going to hear about us anyway throughout today. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about myself because we want to give you hands-on application with this process. I've been a creative person my entire life, and I worked in the financial industry for 25 years. And I was like, oh my God, this is the tool I've been missing. So I'm going to hand it over to Dawn right now.
Great. Thanks, Liz. So yeah, I'm Dawn, and I'm Liz's partner. We've had Shimula going for a couple of years now, and we've both been working on the conversation of women reinventing their relationship to money for quite a few years. And, money is kind of a linear, logical conversation, but there's also a lot of creativity that's required in order to have it come be with you, be your partner, be your lover, be your stakeholder, be the person on the board of directors with you. And we're always looking for ways to share tools and tips and tricks with other women in Ellevate so that you can have the most powerful relationship to money ever. And mind mapping is one of those tools that has been really important for me. So I'm going to start to jump right in, if that's okay with you, Liz. And if you guys have any questions at all, if you can get them into the chat, we'll make sure we're addressing them as we go. So first thing is I was at a meeting many years ago. It was a team building meeting where we all had to line up right brain to left brain in the room. And so you would stand next to someone, and we all knew each other. So we would stand next to somebody, and then they would say, oh, I'm more right brained, or you're more left brain. And when I started in the line, I started all the way at the far end of left brain. So if you're left brain means you're, really logical, really organized. Right brain is more creative and passionate. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but I was sure that I was left-brained. I was sure of it. And in the course of that exercise, by the time we were finished, I was all the way at the far end of right-brained. And I was like, no way, I am not right-brained. I spend all of my time getting organized. I spend all of my time filing things and putting things into piles and reorganizing and organizing again and strategizing and calendars. And I've got to be left-brained. And the instructor said, Dawn, people who are left-brained and that are organized just are organized. They don't have to think about it. You are a right-brained creative person that's trying to live inside of a left-brain world. And most of the world is organized in a left-brain way, right? Corporations, they all have rules. There's rules, there's laws, there's spreadsheets, right? There's the time you come to work, there's the time you leave work, there's dress codes, there's lots of rules and lots of laws, which are very linear. And those of us who are really creative often have to strive to fit into that left brain world. And so I have been amassing tools for the last few years to help me live, operate, and thrive, right? Be really successful in this left brain world, because we need a lot of right brain people. Now, if you are left brain, it's also good to be here, because sometimes our left brain people get so focused and narrow in the thinking because you got to get stuff done. Productivity is the name of the game. It's hard to think outside the box. So mind mapping is a tool that can help you think outside the box when the track you're on isn't working quite the way that you wanted it to work. So I'm going to jump right into the PowerPoint presentation to get us rolling here. And I found this visual and I just thought it was amazing. You can see like the left brain moving into the right brain. Hang on just a second. Liz, I can't see you guys anymore. Let's see.
You can't? Well, we can see the PowerPoint and I can see. So
and can you see me too?
I can see you, yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to kind of move through this because I don't like it that I can't see you. All right, I'm kind of flying blind here. All right, so
I'll speak about what's coming up in the chat if somebody raises their hand or anything. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. This is what we call teamwork, right? My right brain is really okay with it. My left brain is like, oh no, I have to deliver a certain topic within a certain amount of time so that I don't waste your precious time and energy, right? You guys can all start to see where right brain and left brain can start to fight with one another. So mind mapping, first I just want to say, here's this thing about mind mapping. Don't overthink it. There's not like a bunch of rules around it. There's no right way to do it and there's no wrong way to do it. It's really just an opportunity for you to do some brain dumping that's not necessarily in a bullet point format. It lets that left brain and right brain come together in a way that you can start to use both sides. No one's fully left-brained and no one's fully right-brained, but you will dominate one side or the other. So as I'm reading the different characteristics of the brain, put in the chat if you think you're more left-brained or more right-brained. And then Liz, if you can kind of give me a sense about where people think they are. So a left-brained person tends to be, without even thinking about it, you're logical, analytical, things have to be accurate, you're okay with numbers, you can think in percentages, there's a lot of control. Science falls on the side of the left brain, reasoning, rationale, all falls into that side of the brain. On the right brain, even on the left brain, you can think of it as, you can see it's kind of a monoculture of the grays and those purples, right? It's not that left brain people are boring or dull. It's just, there are rules, right? And you have to follow in the rules. Whereas on the right side, you have more, you think of it more colorfully, right? You've got passion, there's vividness, there's all of the emotions, love, excitement, happiness, anger, freedom, all of that falls on the right side. The right side is more inspiration oriented. So Liz, as people are putting stuff into the chat, are they saying, are they right-brained or are they left-brained? Or do we have a good combination?
We actually, the majority of the people are saying right. There's two that are saying left.
Okay.
Somebody that says definitely right-brained with a high analytic ability.
Okay.
You know, I like to say I've been trained to switch between the two quickly.
Yeah.
I'm not balanced between the two, but I look at my children and they can function in both brains simultaneously. So a lot of, we get more left brains. So it's definitely a combination here.
Okay, great. So one of the things that I wanted to, I'm getting an echo and I don't know why, sorry about that. So one of the things I wanted you to think about is, I'm going to tell you about a dream that Liz and I have had. And really it's mine too. I've convinced Liz that it's a really good one to have. but I would love to be on stage with Tony Robbins, and not delivering Tony Robbins's programs, but he has these guest speakers that come on that use his technologies, his tools, his mindset work, and he brings them on and they deliver their programs to his people. And that has always been a big dream of mine, is to be able to take the Shimula concepts and deliver it in front of all of Tony Robbins's people. I mean, just imagine. And then I'm like, okay, how do I? No, can't do that. I can't even imagine how to do that. What would I have to do? What are some of the things I would have to do? So there's a woman named Jenna Kutcher who has a podcast called The Goal Digger, TheGoalDigger. And she is one of his guest speakers on a regular basis. And I thought, well, if I could do some of the things that I know she does, and then create some of my own goals and objectives around it, maybe I would have a chance to get Shimula up on the stage. So I'm going to show you how I created a mind map around that. And what I did, you can see here are some goals. They are kind of bullet pointed, but I just had to write down some goals, but I didn't know what to do then. So I use a big sheet of paper. Let me show you this. Sorry. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a really big sheet of paper. You probably can only see my screen. But anyway, so what I do is then I have all my pens and my pencils, and then this is going to be a fast version. Then I have all my pens and my pencils. There we go. So in the center, I put that I wanted to be on his show in 2025. And on the right-hand side are things that Jenna Kutcher has done. So Jenna Kutcher has 15,000 Facebook followers, 942,000 following on Instagram, 5,000 posts, 2 million downloads of her podcast, 260 episodes, right? Then on the left-hand side are things that Liz and I were thinking about. So how much money would we have to be making annually, right? Like a profit. So we thought, well, at least probably 2 million annually. And then how many courses do we need to be able to produce that? So we started thinking, well, if we have 15 courses that run somewhere between $100 and $1,000, and we have 7,000 people who have purchased one of the courses over the next few years, we started to kind of brainstorm that whole process. And that was the beginning of the mind map. So this allowed us to really just generate some big thoughts. I still don't know what to do with it, right? Like, how do I get 15,000 followers on Facebook? Now I've got that overwhelmed question again. Oh, what do I do? Okay, 15,000 people. What do I do? How do I get 942,000 followers on Instagram? So what I started to think about is you could take one of these topics and then you can create its own mind map. And then you can keep doing this down to the point where you can have enough detail where you could create bullet points and a spreadsheet or something like that. So for the people on the call who like software, I'm going to show you a version of the software. I think I have to go out and come back in to do that. And I really hate that I can't see you guys. Let's see, where did it go?
So you don't see us right now?
I see you right now.
Okay.
I didn't see you before. But I have lost my mind map thing.
You guys get to practice soon.
Okay. So here we go. The power of technology and practicing, because we do get in front of crowds and have to figure out the technology that goes with it and be comfortable. So it went back to the same screen. Can you guys see a blue screen now, or do you see the PowerPoint presentation?
The blue screen.
Blue screen.
Okay, great. So this is a software. There's software tools out there for people who are more software oriented and don't use paper and pencil. This one happens to be called MindMeister, and there's quite a few of them that are free, and then you can upgrade. But one of the things I started to think about is, let me start with podcasts. So if I'm gonna have a podcast a day, right? First, I have to start with topics. So I thought, okay, Shimula, we can have one on debt elimination, and then I have to think about speakers and the books, and maybe there's some forms that I can give out, or I can do topics on mindset, right? Tony Robbins does a lot of stuff on mindset. Mel Robbins has her 5-4-3-2-1 and her new High Five Habit book. We could do a topic on loneliness, a topic on discipline, or I could pick a topic. So in this one, I click on that. I hit my little bar there, and I could do a topic on legal issues. Where did my little bar go? There we go. On legal issues, right? So then I can just click on it and add like who could be a speaker, right? And what are the list of issues? See how that works, right? And if you're brainstorming, I'm not as good doing it online to do the original brainstorming, but some people might be. Another topic could be, I need partners, right? Another topic could be that I need funding maybe, right? I might need how to do so. Somebody can come on and talk about social media. Come on. You could have like Crystal come in and talk about, how do you do LinkedIn and other social media, right? So you can start to see that you can use this to create all kinds of bits and pieces in almost like a web. And then you might start to see that things get related. So it could be that, you might want to connect mindset. Maybe there's mindset work to connect with LinkedIn about, you might have a mindset. Stop. You might have a mindset with regard to social media, right? So we could have somebody come on and talk about how to do it. And then people are talking about how they're very worried about being on social media and dealing with the issues, or worried about how do I do it right? I don't want to do it wrong. So there's lots of opportunities for you where you can start to connect issues, which is really hard for some of us right brain person to be able to do that in bullet point format. And then you can see from here, you could start to break it down into more detail. You can create calendars, and you can take this out as far as you like, depending on the degree of detail that's important to you to get work done. Sometimes I'll go this far and then I can see what I need to do, and all of a sudden I can get it into a calendar. Sometimes I have to go pretty darn deep before I can get it into the calendar. It just depends on the topic and your comfort level. But like I said, we don't want to overthink it. So if we go back to the PowerPoint, can you see the PowerPoint again, Liz?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Liz, I'm going to turn this part over to you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where we're going to actually practice. We're going to do hands-on. So this is where get your paper ready, get the different colored pencils or pens or markers, or Crystal, get your MindMeister app going and pulled up. So I want you to think about a goal for the holiday season. There's lots of holidays coming up. Pick one that's really important to you. And then pick an event, or just think about the entire season and a goal that you're looking to have. Maybe it's no credit card debt. You want to travel to a certain place with ease and fun. Maybe it's a peaceful holiday with certain people, maybe a community dinner or events to bring people in together. I know it's interesting because we're still technically in this pandemic, so it might look different. So this is a great time to kind of practice mind mapping and getting intentional about it, right? So, think about one of the holidays and a big goal that you have for it. And that would go in the center of the mind map. Okay. You put a circle and put that in there. For example, I would put in, no tangible gifts for my husband and I, because we want experiences. We don't want anything else to be brought in the house. That would be something in the middle, but then we would have to think about, a lot of different things that would go off on the outside in the little dashes that you would do. So now the ideas will flow from the center on how you're going to accomplish that goal, whether it be no credit card debt, you want to travel to a certain place with certain people and have a certain experience. So allow the ideas just to continuously flow. Put down every thought, put down every image. If you don't know where it goes, just do another mark and another circle off of the center. We often, sometimes we've been trained to do these bullet points and words, but we also have images that sometimes come in, and sounds and tastes and smells. So whatever comes up, put it down. It's perfect the way it is. No judgment, just free thinking. How long do we want to give them, Dawn?
Well, let me show them my example as a way to get started. And then we'll give you guys about 5 or 6 minutes to really brainstorm your own version. And I have to tell you, stick figures work. You can draw whatever kind of shape works for you. So for me, one of the things that's really important for me is a stress-free Christmas day. We do celebrate, Christmas in our home. And one of the big things, if I know that's always a problem for us is the meal planning. And it's not just meal planning for Christmas Day, but it's whose house are we having Christmas at this year? And which meals are we all having together? And which ones do I have at my house? And then what time are we going to eat at my house, so that when if we go to my sister's, I don't have to worry about I've eaten too much or not enough. And then when are people arriving and when are they departing? Whether it's arrivals and departures related to the day, or what day is my daughter coming in and when is she leaving? And then what's my budget? It's important that I stay in my budget. I want to make sure we have events planned. There's nothing worse in my mind than sitting around doing nothing when a bunch of people have come in from out of town and we haven't seen each other for a while. Another thing that helps me with us keeping Christmas stress-free is if I schedule a wrapping day. I really tend to wrap on Christmas Eve and sometimes the morning of, because Madison is still sleeping. And that just adds so much stress. It's unbelievable. So what I'd like for you guys to do is to create your own. Let's take about 5 or 6 minutes, and you can use a holiday topic. You can use any topic that you would like, but just start to craft some ideas, and we'll talk about that when we get back together in a group. So, hey, Steve, welcome. Just remember, there's no right way or wrong way. You can draw circles and squares. You can cross things out, move into other spots. And feel free to go create a second map if you need to, like if you can see one that you want to take down deeper, like I did with the podcast conversation. So just take another minute. Wherever you land is going to be perfect, I promise. All right. So, Liz, I've set up some breakout rooms. Okay.
Oh, I did too. I got them all set up.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
I got it all set up. How long are we going for?
We're going to go, I think if we go till like about 2:15 or 2:16, gives people about 10 minutes, about 2 or 3 minutes a person. The whole idea is just to share what you're seeing, brainstorm a little bit. What did you see from the process of doing it yourself? What kind of questions do you still have? And then we'll come back into the main room and we'll, oh, did we just lose a couple of people?
We lost 2, it looks like, yeah.
Okay, so then we're just going to do a quick breakout and then we'll come back and talk about what you saw from the process.
Okay,
so far.
will you stop recording for the breakout session so that way people can